On the 15th of March 2019, New Zealand witnessed one of its deadliest terrorist attacks, in which at least 50 innocent Muslims were brutally killed and dozens others injured. This latest Islamophobic terrorist attack has shocked much of the world. I'm here in Istanbul, where OIC's Executive Committee is meeting, and I'm going to speak to the Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Shah Mahmood Qureshi, about the rise of Islamophobia and the recent escalation of tensions between India and Pakistan. I'm Jafar Hasnan, and this is a News Exclusive. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi, thank you very much for being with us. Let me start by asking you, a tragic event unfolded in New Zealand which claimed the lives of 50 innocent Muslims. Tell me, what does this imply about the current state of Islamophobia in our world?
It's a clear indicator of rising Islamophobia. It's a clear indicator of intolerance, extremism on the rise in every society. It's a clear indication of how people are reacting in different lands, how frustration and economic compulsions and misery is taking a different form. We've seen it in the past, and this new Nazi tendency is on the rise again.
Now, Pakistan has been at the forefront of countering this narrative. Tell me, what more does your government plan to undertake to counter this growing issue?
I think there's a need for media to play a very proactive role. There's need to redefine terrorism. Every Muslim is not a terrorist, and every act of terrorism cannot be linked to Islam. For example, there are people, there are individuals from different societies, from different cultures. I give you an example. There was an incident in India where a school of thought, RSS school of thought, that reflects the thinking of the Hindutva ideology, committed an act, and they burned 68 people in a terrorist attack. Nobody is talking about that, and nobody is dubbing that as terrorism. All the accused have been acquitted by a court of law. This tendency that one sees Muslim sites being attacked, political parties whipping up hate in their manifestos to gain votes, is a tendency that has to be checked, and checked effectively. Social media has to be guided, and there has to be some sort of a curb put in. I'm not in any way suggesting that I'm advocating freedom of. I'm advocating a check on freedom of expression. Not at all. Being a Democrat, I would never suggest that. But irresponsible statements that promote hatred and fan extremism need to be checked.
Okay, now according to the latest statistics and figures, Islamophobia is especially on the rise in the western part of the world. What measures should be taken by Western leaders to counter this narrative?
To begin with awareness, to begin with education, and to tell people that the misery that they are facing, let's say there's agitation all over France because of rising prices and inflation. Now that's got nothing to do with Muslims and Islam. There could be many economic factors that have contributed to the deteriorating economic situation. So why pick a particular religion and a particular community for your misery? I think that needs to be understood more clearly.
Okay, now moving on to the next part of our interview. Tensions dramatically escalated between India and Pakistan last month over the Pulwama attack. The way Prime Minister Imran Khan handled the situation was applauded by leaders from all across the globe. So tell me, in light of the recent developments, how will Pakistan move forward, because the Kashmir issue still stands in its place?
Well, Pakistan, as you must have noticed, showed a lot of restraint. Our reactions were very measured. We did everything to de-escalate immediately after the attack on the 26th of February. We were attacked. Our sovereignty was attacked. There was a violation of our airspace, and yet we responded maturely. The Indian pilot whose plane was downed was released immediately as a goodwill gesture. We sent our High Commissioner back to Delhi to clearly signal that we want to work, and we want to work for de-escalation. All our moves have been, I would say, de-escalatory. But the situation on the Indian side of Kashmir is deteriorating rapidly because of excessive use of force, because of continuous violation of human rights and atrocities that are being committed, because of a growing number of alienated Kashmiris. If that is not checked, that will give rise to a reaction, and that reaction could lead to anything. So, as we are doing our best to de-escalate, yet we have to remain cautious of some other misadventure that the Indians could take, could undertake before the elections to prop up their popularity.
When tensions were high between India and Pakistan, the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan vowed to stand hand in hand with Pakistan. So tell me, what is your navigation through the Turkish President's involvement, not only as an ally, but also as a mediator?
Well, we welcome the statement. He acted swiftly. He acted with reason. He engaged with both sides and said, listen, escalation is in nobody's interest. If you have issues, then engage and resolve them through dialogue. Pakistan welcomed his initiative. We feel that he acted like a statesman, and we welcome that. And we are more than happy if he's willing to play a mediatory role. Pakistan has complete trust and confidence in his ability and in the people of Turkey.
Shah Mahmood Qureshi, the Foreign Minister of Pakistan, thank you very much for talking to us.